Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dairy Raid and the Dairy Raid play of the day, where we are taking a look at the plays, the schemes that are going to help propel the Badgers forward in the 2025 season. And one of the storylines coming out of camp, or I guess maybe one of the observations coming out of fall camp, is people are noticing all the different ways that our wide receivers are getting involved in the offense beyond the passing game. And this isn't anything new. If we go back in the day, the vaunted Jazz sweep was a point of marvel for Wisconsin fans, as it was seen as so innovative and so out there, when anybody who followed spread offenses have seen a jet sweep before. And in 2025, when we have such dynamic playmakers like Trech Kekahuna in the slot, it is a chance for the Badgers offense to move beyond what is an effective play in the jet sweep, but there's so much more that we can do to get these these receivers involved in the offense and just getting those dynamic playmakers in space. And we're going to take a look at one of those plays today. But before we get into that, I want to take a second to go back and let's talk about the Jazz sweep and how this play was so effective for the Badgers back in the day. So, what is the Jazz sweep? And it was our affectionate term for the jet sweep ran to Jazz Peavy back in the day, Kenzel Doe, whatever, wide receiver. So, we'll install this play here real quick, how it was ran back in the day, and then we'll come back and talk about new variations of using this kind of motion to get our receivers involved. All right, so the crux of the whole jet series that we ran back in the day would be we would motion the either wide receiver, slot receiver, a receiver into the backfield behind the QB, and then we would have the running back take off with his action going away from the jet sweep. And what would happen here between these two players is the quarterback would open up to the jet sweep and then continue on his movement into the backfield. And between that action, we would run the jet sweep. We would run a running back run play off of it, whether it be power coming back this way, whether it would be inside zone, a lot of different variation. We would also run play action. And this was a nice way to add eye candy, which is something we've talked a lot about with the Jet Grimes offense. This is one of the good things that Paul Chryst did, was he would get the defense to focus their eyes on somebody other than their all-world running back. Now, this was not as effective as maybe we remember. We certainly remember the highlights that were there hitting this play, but it's not like this sprung for 50 yards every time we did it. Again, it was more just as a distraction, and 9 times out of 10, we still went inside here with the running back. So it was a nice setup. They built a nice series off it. Of course, then as the years went on and going into the last part of the Chryst era, this kind of movement kind of ended, or it wasn't used as effectively as it had been in the past, and then it kind of petered out towards the end. Fast forward to 2023 and 2024 with Phil Longo. They did run one jet sweep that I can remember to Trech, but it wasn't a big part of the offense. They did run motion, but that motion was more set up to use in using a bubble motion, orbit motion to get receivers involved in a snag concept in the passing game. So let's take this setup here, and with this idea of this kind of play combo in our head, and let's move forward to a really interesting variation of this jet motion that I was able to extrapolate from just one small thing that we saw in practice. So let's take a look at that. All right, so we're back out here with our typical, as in the formation I saw the most in spring ball, a 3x1 condensed formation. And let's talk about a play that's going to incorporate jet motion, but is not going to use it in the way that we would traditionally think that type of motion is being used. And it's going to showing the creativity that could find new ways to get guys like Trech the ball and really utilize their skill set without having to fit them into a specific box. So where this came from is just taking a look on Twitter, and Dan Smith, the father of Carter Smith, posted a clip of Carter just working a drill in practice, and it was him doing a little shovel pass to Grover Bortolotti and just working on that technique. And to the untrained eye, that's all it is. A little shovel pass in a drill situation. But if you look deeper into that rep, and I'm not going to steal Dan's video, I'd encourage you to go to his Twitter page and take a look, is you need to take a look at Carter's feet and Carter's eyes when he's working this shovel pass, and you're going to see something built in that's way more than just a little shovel. Okay? And what this is going to be, and we're going to call this Brown Hip 35 Utah. Okay? And again, like I said in the previous install video or play of the day video, this is my terminology. This is just going to help me mentally picture what I'm doing as we're going forward and to give you an idea of how play calling is set up. All right, so Brown is the formation, 3x1 condensed to the strong side. Hip is a motion utilizing the H receiver, your slot receiver, and 35 is my inverted veer. Okay, so inverted veer. What is inverted veer? Inverted veer is we're going to use motion to read the play side end, and we are going to run a power scheme behind it. Okay, and typically what you would have in a situation like this, we use this formation. We're going to offset the running back to the weak side. We're going to send this motion, okay, right in here. Offensive line-wise, we're going to run a power scheme. Okay, so we are going to down block, if we can work, down block, sift, okay, which is step in. If this guy crosses our face, we block him. If not, we carry to the second level. And then we're going to pull lead with our backside guard. Okay, backfield action. Running back's just going to get out in the alley. Our motion man is coming across the formation parallel to the line of scrimmage. And our quarterback is going to shuffle with him. And he's going to read this front side, defensive end, outside linebacker, edge guy, whatever you want to call him. If he reads his tackle, when his tackle goes down, he squeezes down, like a lot of teams are going to do. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to hand the ball off to our motion guy, and he's going to get out into the alley behind our running back. If our edge guy widens, then what would happen is our quarterback would keep it and tuck in right behind. And I will say, a play like this, very similar to run plays that we saw Billy Edwards Jr. run a lot at Maryland last year. They ran inverted veer a ton. And so this play, a very basic run play, QB design run play that both forces the defense to play sideline to sideline, but you get a power run aspect with this. Now, what some people would say with this is, unless you have a QB like Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton, who are built to take hits like this over and over and over again, this is maybe not a variation, a type of play that you want to run with a QB. And fair enough. So that's where the Utah variation of this comes in. And Utah, for me, is a tag where our running back is going to run a shovel pass. So how this would get set up is pre-snap. Let's just get everybody back to the beginning. Okay, so we're here. Pre-snap, we set the formation, okay, and I'm going to shift my running back over to the play to the strong side. Okay, so we got a sidecar alignment. We're still going to send our jet sweep action, our jet motion. We are still going to run our down blocks in our power scheme. So we're going to down, we're going to down, we're going to down, we're going to sift, and we're going to power to that front side backer. We're still going to read this edge guy. So our quarterback is going to shuffle with our motion man. Okay, and then this is where I picked this up with Carter, because as he was running the shovel action in practice, I could see his feet and his eyes moving towards an imaginary edge rusher. So that let me know that this shovel pass is more than just a shovel pass. It is more than that. So what's going to happen? We're going to shuffle down the line like we can working on, and then our running back is going to run the shovel, and he is going to become the second read in this type of play, to where if this end widens and continues with the jet sweep, and if you incorporate a guy like Trech, who's good at these type of plays, more often this guy is going to slow play it or attack wide, and then we are just going to hit that little shovel pass inside, and we're going to utilize a running back who is maybe more designed to take hits like that to get the ball inside. So it is a great variation that we can run off of this motion and utilize a more capable player running inside. And there's so much that you could do with this. We've been hearing a lot about Trech getting in orbit motion. And orbit motion is when he's essentially motioning into the backfield. And you can run the same thing. And you can, in fact, turn this into triple option. Heck, you look at Alex Smith. He got himself to be the first pick in the NFL draft basically running this, where we're going to orbit motion, we're going to get wide, and instead of the quarterback shuffling down the line, he's going to attack this edge guy. And again, now he's got inside-out options. Okay, he widens, I shovel it inside. He squeezes, I keep it, option a second level guy, or I pitch it outside. So, as you could see here, a very simple concept in design, but there are so many moving parts that you really have to be disciplined, or you're going to lose somebody, whether it be the quarterback, the motion receiver, or the running back. Somebody could squeeze free. And this is what I'm really excited about with this Grimes offense is he has his pro sensibilities, but he's not overlooking the plays that take advantage of college defensive players. And it's plays like this that I think should be really exciting and stimulating for potential Badger receivers, because when you run a run heavy offense, you got to find ways to get everybody involved, or you're just going to end up with spiking receivers from MAC teams instead of getting your 4-star big name receiver recruits like we're starting to get in Wisconsin. So that's a look at another play of the day, another scheme that could help take the Badgers offense to the level that we hope it should be at. And we'll see as we get into the season how the Jeff Grimes incorporates these guys and gets more people involved, so it becomes a true team effort for offensive success this year in 2025. All right, so that's it for today with the play of the day. Next time we're going to talk defense again, and we're going to talk about what we can do coverage-wise to help mask the fact that we no longer have Nicer Forkreen manning that boundary corner spot. But that'll be then. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.